Hello, my fellow hoop heads. Your broskies in college hoops are in mid-season form, and we still have 88 days until opening tip-off. Our Power 5 Battle Series heats up with last year's number one rated conference by analytic sites, the Big 12. The new look Big 12 has its fair share of heated battles at some marquee schools. So let's jump in. We are live, and this is One and Done.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Welcome to One and Done, broskies and broskets. We are your fast break for college basketball information, powered by drroto.com. I am your always humble host, Nape C. Hustle, aka Chris Napier. You can find me on X at The Real Napier. Joining me today are the snap and crackle to my pop. That's right, that's a cereal reference to all you youngsters out there. First, he is the captain of the Green Screens Media ship. You can find him on X at MC Holland34. Mr. Mike Holland. What's up, brother?
We are back, my friend, with another position battle show. So I am looking forward to it. And under 90 days, that's good times right there. It's been a long summer. We've, obviously very, very busy at the end of April, May, doing the portal. Got a little bit of a break there in late July. So that was kind of nice. But top 20 is coming, top 20 countdown, returning players. We've got coaching interviews. Go check out that playlist that we've done. Conference previews are on the way, probably within the week. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Betting content to come, DFS shows when the season starts, and it's going to all be here before you know it.
Absolutely. That is right. Tons of stuff. That top 20 is coming out very soon. So make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram at One and Done CBB for both, and also following us here on YouTube so you can catch those shorts. So make sure you go in there, hit those like and subscribe buttons so you know when we're coming. But moving on to our last but certainly not least gentleman here. He is the conductor of the Green Screens Media train. Find him on X at Dr. William Cannon. Mr. Jay Heinrich, what it do?
What's up, man? Good to see you guys again. Happy to be back in the lab at it with a pen and a pad, bringing you the Big 12, the former conference of my beloved Texas Longhorns, but still a powerful conference nonetheless. Yeah, we're talking Big 12 tonight, but we've also talked ACC, Big East, and Big Ten position battles as well. So make sure after you watch tonight live, like I hope you're doing because you turn on your notification bells, or if you're watching after the fact, watch this show and then go back and watch ACC, Big East, and Big Ten and catch up on who we think is going to fill out these starting lineups in some premier schools in those respective conferences. But yeah, happy to be here tonight talking Big 12. Play intramurals, brother.
Absolutely. As Jay said, we are talking Big 12 basketball tonight. We have three teams that have some heated offseason position battles that we're going to get into here. We've projected the starting lineups, and these guys next to me over this way will make their case for who will be the starter come November 4th. Remember that. Put that in your date books. November 4th is starting day. So first, let's jump into the Arizona Wildcats. So last year, Arizona was 27-9, 15-5 in the old Pac-12. They earned a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. They beat Long Beach and Dayton on the first weekend, but lost to the 5 seed Clemson in the Sweet 16. They returned nearly half the roster and added 3 potential impact transfers, along with a solid incoming freshman group. Torvik preseason has them ranked number 10 in the country with a projected record of 16-10 in what should once again be the best conference in the country. So let's take a look at the projected starters who we have locked in. So starting at guard, Jaden Bradley. Also at guard, Caleb Love. And at forward, Trey Townsend, transferring in from Oakland. So at least 2 spots open here. So let's look at the possible starters in the starting guard or a wing position here. So we got guard KJ Lewis, 6'4", sophomore. He was rocking 18 minutes, 6 points, and 3 rebounds per game. Then you also have wing Anthony Delorso, 6'6", junior, transferring in from Campbell. 33 minutes, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and shooting 38% from that three-point line, just above that Heinrich line, right? Let's jump into the starting big at the 5. We have Mo Crevis, his center. He is 7'2", and Jay?
You can't teach that.
Absolutely. 7'2". He's a sophomore nonetheless. 12 minutes, 5 points, and 4 rebounds per game. And also we have Toby Awaka, 6'8", junior, transferring in from Tennessee. 13 minutes and 5 rebounds per game. Mike, going to you, what's the big battle you're looking at here? Who are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at the versatility, first of all, Nate C. Hustle of this roster, and the starting options have to be very exciting for Coach Lloyd. You talked about Bradley and Love. Those guys are combo guards, so they can play on and off the ball. Obviously, Love with a ton of experience. And then you have Townsend there at the forward spot, super skilled. We saw what he could do in the NCAA tournament, in the Horizon League tournament. Just an awesome player, can step out and shoot the three, can facilitate a little bit from that forward spot. But the big battle that I'm waiting to see here is Lewis against Delorso. It's going to be interesting to see what Tommy Lloyd does here. I love Delorso's game. He tested out the waters for the NBA draft. He's got nice size. He's 6'6". I mean, look at his splits from last year, 49, 38, 81. This guy carried a top 50 shot rate in the country. And usually when you see that, you don't see the efficiency, but he had a 60% true shooting percentage. So it feels like he's tailor-made to be in this type of up and down system. A guy that obviously can score from all 3 levels. When you see a guy that takes that many shots in the mid-major ranks, I mean, they typically don't put up those type of numbers. So I'm pretty excited to see, can he transfer that from Campbell, where he was basically the central piece. It's not like it was this great mid-major team. They were keying on him every game, and he was still able to put up those type of numbers on that type of volume. So question marks defensively, Jay, which if we know the Arizona Wildcats, we know that that's kind of been the Achilles heel once the tournament has started. What are your thoughts here, Jay, on the kind of the battle here between Delorso and KJ Lewis?
Yeah, you're going to face a little bit stiffer competition on a night in and night out basis than you did at Campbell. So that's just, yeah, so it may affect the outcome here. It'll be interesting to see how he can translate that. And yeah, KJ Lewis obviously is someone to talk about, super impactful in the 18 minutes per game. He got off the bench last season. He's probably going to be the favorite to start. The efficiency on both ends is something that you really, really like. But I want to talk about the bigs here, Krivas and Awaka. That battle is going to be so good. I've been a fan of Awaka and how he handled his business at Tennessee as the backup to Adu, not seeing probably all of the touches and minutes that he feels like he could have, put forth for that team. But hey, it's a logjam, and Adu, obviously, super talented cat. So
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's pretty decent. But yeah, he showed he could stand up to Edey on the defensive end during the tournament as well. Did Awaka. Krivas, though, is like that classic Tommy Lloyd overseas find that's just, you just look at him and it's just like this moldable ball of clay that if you just ship just right, you're going to get like the absolute optimal sort of result out of Krivas. So maybe old does Tbilis ring a bell, somebody he's done that with before. But okay, so back to this 50-50 for me on who's going to start. or not. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a 50-50 split regardless of who's on the floor first. Okay, but maybe something to follow this offseason, watch their development, pay attention to those reports, see if anybody's getting a nose out ahead. But, Mike, I'm going to lock in Krivas on this one, so I'll leave it to you to lock in Del Orso or Lewis.
Oh, boy. I like Awaka a lot too, but man, you look at Krivas and just what he was, like you said, what he was able to do in those limited minutes, can be a beast offensively, can shoot the three. So it's going to be very valuable in a Tommy Lloyd system at 7-1, 7-2. So if you're going to lock in Krivas there, that obviously is the one spot that I was talking about earlier. Look, a lot of places are probably going to project KJ Lewis to get in there. I still think I love the argument, Jay, that he's going to find it a little more difficult in the Big 12. I also think he'll find it maybe a little bit easier to play with guys this talented. Caleb Love, Jaden Bradley has a chance to even take another step forward. Trey Townsend, he doesn't have to be that number one option. I think at 6'6", 2 inches taller. Not the defender that KJ Lewis is. It depends on if Lloyd wants to play 3 guards, 2 bigs, or if he wants to play 2 guards, a wing, and 2 bigs. To me, to make this offense run, and the way that Arizona has to win, it feels like it's offensively. Like, if you're going to play Krivas, it's that big guy in the middle. Jaden Bradley is one of the best guard defenders in the country. Caleb Love's not a slouch. I kind of want to get Del Orso, really get that floor spacing. I mean, it'd be really tough to handle, that type of player from all 3 levels, along with Townsend, along with our guy, Caleb Love. So, I'll fill it out here. It's probably not going to be popular, but I'm going to take a shot here with slotting Del Orso in there. So I think we run it like this. I feel like we put Jaden Bradley at the 1, also Caleb Love at the 2. We'll have Anthony Del Orso at that 3 spot, Trey Townsend at the 4, and then Mo Krivas sitting there at the 5.
You didn't think we were going to talk about Arizona, and I wasn't going to get to talk about Caleb Love at all, did you? You didn't think that was going to happen?
I didn't know because I didn't know about the last.
You know how I was feeling.
I didn't know how you're feeling. I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, my love-hate relationship for Caleb Love, it runs deep. It runs deep, and as we get
so much experience now, like it's crazy out these.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. Well, we all know my hate runs deep, so we will go ahead and move on. Those are your starting 5 for.
What's the Sun Devil? How do you do the? Is it
Forks?
Whoa! Whoa!
Hey.
It's a family show. Oh, that's Forks Up. Is that what that is? Is that what it is? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's a pitchfork. Calm down.
Sure it is.
Good stuff. Well, looking at the comments here, we got a couple comments coming in from Twitter. Appreciate the love coming in from Twitter. Does Dennis Rodman play for this team?
Not this one.
No. Wanted to be a wise guy. Thank you for the shout out. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy bringing this content out to the world out there. Keep those comments coming, guys. While you're in there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know exactly when all these great shows are going to be coming out. As Mike said in the beginning, we are going to be busy this year, and with the season coming up quick, it's just going to ramp up even more. So moving on to our next team that we're going to spotlight here, we're going to go into Kansas. I'm going to do the Rock Chalk Jayhawks here. Looking at last year, they were 23-11, 10-8, earned a 4 seed in the tournament. They survived Samford before falling to the 5 seed Gonzaga in the round of 32. Last year was a roller coaster, to say the least, right? With injuries, depth, and shooting. Coach Self went out and hammered the portal while maintaining some big key pieces. Torvik preseason has them ranked 4th in the country with a projected 22-9 record. Let's look at their projected starters here. We have locked in at guard Dwan Harris, the guard/wing AJ Storr, and center, of course, Hunter Dickinson.
My guy.
He's getting that start. That's
My
a no-brainer. He's back. Exactly. So that leaves some remaining options here. Let's look at wing/forward Rylan Griffin, 6'6" senior. He's transferring in from Alabama. Played 26 minutes, 11 points per game, and shot 39 from the 3. Then we have the forward KJ Adams, 6'7" senior, played 33 minutes, 12 points, and 5 rebounds per game. And then you have guard Zeke Mayo, 6'4" senior, transferring in from South Dakota State, played 36 minutes, 19 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, and shot 39 from the three. Oh, by the way, he was Summit League Player of the Year last year. So, Jay, I'm going to you. Who are you keying in on here?
I love me some Zeke Mayo, but basically what we're looking at here is 6 starters on your team. And, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. It's the starting 5 in basketball.
No, here's the math.
The math be mathing on that one, guys. Okay, so again, it comes down to that 4 spot right next to Dickinson. Last year it was KJ Adams, and he held his own. He's an energy guy. He's been in the system, but the problem is with him and Harris in the lineup, you can't stretch the floor, man. Like, you just can't do it. But then you don't really have like just that standout. You know, if you can mold one out of clay, sort of a 4-man, you don't really have that. I think what happens is Self is going to move just playmakers and shooters around Dickinson, just, you know, piece it around and stir that stew up until it tastes just right. And, you know, one of those guys, of course, has to be AJ Storr, Mike.
Yeah, it has to be AJ Storr. And I think that there is a path to KJ Adams. I mean, been in the program, like you said. I don't know, like, if he's a starter again this year, I don't think it's in this 32-minute role, 33-minute role. Like, I could see him, you know, starting, then he comes out in the first media timeout. You move to the kind of that more of a spread offense like you were talking about. Then he comes back in and spells Dickinson for a few minutes. For me, I've been saying this all offseason, I'm banging the drum for Rylan Griffin to start. Play that small ball 4 like he did at Alabama. Clearly that worked. They got to the Final Four. He showed the capability to obviously guard some bigger players. It's not, you know, the most effective like on-ball defender against, you know, bigger 4s, but what he can give you offensively is really nice. And Napsy Hustle there laid it out, right? This guy shot 39% from 3.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get that, he's 6'6", right? Like, you have Dickinson, you know, it's obviously a 7-footer. That problem last year was just kind of ugly with not having guys that can create. That's why they probably should have lost to Samford if Samford gets the foul call there under a minute to go there. But so I like having Griffin there at the 4, kind of like he was at Alabama, and then having 3 playmaking guards along with Dickinson. It feels like that type of offensive flow would be, I mean, it would one of the top 5-10 offenses, right? It's going to be just super hard to guard. So this wide open system, we'll see if Bill Self does it. Typically a coach that plays more of a traditional 4, which is why Adams has been starting a lot over the past couple of years. So I don't know, Jay, like, what are your thoughts on just how this could all shake out?
Well, if you start Griffin, it's really for the sole purpose of having that 3-guard lineup that you were alluding to, right? And that gets Zeke Mayo on the floor, an absolute stud. Seeing some places out there having him currently the first person off the bench, and there's a strong possibility that ends up what's happening with Kansas. But the playmaking, the outside shooting that he provides is such an asset. So the way that I see it, there are 2 options for Bill Self. You stay big with Adams and Dickinson, and then Harris at the point, Storr on the wing, and then it's either Griffin or Mayo, right? One's in, one's on the bench. Well, your first guy off probably, right? Or second option, you put Griffin next to Dickinson, and then you just roll the 3 guards with him, you know? So, Mike, put on your I am Bill Self hat, okay? Take it off, just dust it off. Set it on that head, okay? What are you going to do? What is your opinion that the best move would be in terms of filling out that lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I always get nervous when you play smaller, but I feel like because Dickinson not the greatest defensive player, like can get into trouble. Obviously with high pick and roll and different things like that.
Right.
I'm still gonna rock it out because we watched this offense once Kevin McCullers went down. It was, I mean, pretty much game over. So I think they're in a good problem this year, though, right? They have a lot of depth. Obviously, you got someone like Shaquille Moore off the bench. That's another guy from Mississippi State that could do some damage. So I think I'm going to roll here with the Griffin at the 4. I think that Bill Self will kind of mix it up, right? Like it's not something that we typically see from him, but he's such a good coach that I feel like he will try to do this, because I feel like this will open up the offense. Defensively, you'll still have Harris, one of the best on-ball guards. Store's a bigger guard, obviously more of an offensive-oriented player. Rylan Griffin 3-and-D though, and then Dickinson obviously can erase some shots, and it's just going to be like what's the saying? Like sometimes your best defense is more offense. I feel like, and that seems to be kind of the case with some of the options that he has here. So Harris, Mayo, Store, Griffin, and Dickinson. Jay,
you sounded more and more like a coach every day, more and more.
I had my I could take my self cap on. So.
Well, I didn't see you put it on, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll pretend like you did, and now you took it off. So that's nice. That's very good.
Good stuff as always, gents. And looks like we got a couple other comments here. Out of Rhythm Fantasy came back in on coming in from Twitter. Gave you guys a follow a week ago. Appreciate the love. Absolutely love to see that. Tell your friends about us. Keep us going. Also, Kevin Lucas coming in. Other two starters should be Rylan and KJ.
What do you think, man? Let us know.
Let us know why you think
Kevin,
that.
let us know why. And let us know why.
Would love to hear that. Would love to hear your take on that, man.
Perfect. And I believe Kevin is a new commenter, what it looks like. So appreciate the love coming in. Let's go. While you answer that question for us, we're going to go ahead and move on. We'll come back to you. Promise. We'll come back to you. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the old Baylor Bears. Real close to us here. Mike's old Baylor Bears.
There it is. There's one of y'all was going to say it.
Close to us here in Central Texas, up in Waco, Waco. But last year they were pretty good. 24-11, 11-7 in the conference, earned a 3 seed in the Big Dance. Absolutely demolished Colgate in the opening round, but fell to the red-hot Clemson team in the round of 32. Had a few contributors return, but this team ceiling will come from the portal and incoming high school talent. Torvik preseason has them ranked 14th in the country with a projected record of 15-10. Let's take a look at those projected starters we have locked in. So starting at guard, we have Jeremy Roach. At the other guard spot, we have VJ Edgecombe. And starting at forward, we have Norchad Omir. So that the remaining starting options we have guard/wing Jaden Nunn, 6'4" senior, played 24 minutes, 10.5 points per game, 2 assists per game, and shot 44% from the 3. Then we have guard/wing Langston Love, 6'5" junior, played 25 minutes per game, 11 points per game, and shot 48% from 3. Then we're going to jump to forward Jalen Celestine, 6'7" senior, coming in from Cal, played 27 minutes, 9 points per game, and shot 44% from 3. Lots of 40% here, guys, and higher. Lots. Jay loves it. And then we have one last one here. We have forward Josh Ojewuna, 6'10" junior, 15 minutes per game, 5 points per game, and 3 rebounds. Mike.
Nailed it.
Who are you looking at here?
I just want to hear you keep saying these names, man.
No, man, I'm struggling. I'm sorry.
OJ Warner. No, you nailed it.
Yeah, that was good, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna call him. I'm just gonna call him Josh. But this is a similar situation to Kansas, Jay. I mean, it's the second front court spot on Mir. Obviously capable of holding down the 5 spot, but he is undersized, right? Like he's 6'7", right? Even though he's a dog on the glass and can block some shots, he is an undersized 5 guy. Obviously, he's shown that he can make that work on a Final Four team. But like Scott Drew, he's always loved like 2 bigs. So also mirroring that with 3 playmaking type guards. You have the playmaking type guards in droves here. So I think that puts Ojewuna here in play to start for me. Then that would push Norchad down to the 4. You had to give him put some respect on his name. Yeah, exactly. Pushing Omir down to the 4. So I think scouts, the reason why he's not in the NBA, we want to see him at that. He's not going to be a center at the next level. He's going to have to play in that stretch four, wing, even wing type, improve the handles. So he has improved his outside shooting from where he was a few years ago. I think he could be a versatile weapon on both ends of the floor at the 4 spot. We'll see if he can take that challenge on. But with Ojibuna here, like, you do sacrifice basically putting your 5 best players on the floor. So Jay, like, I don't know at Baylor that you can start 4 guards with Omier. I don't know. What's your take? Maybe I'm wrong, because I was basically saying you can kind of start 4 guards at Kansas with Dickinson. So what's your take here?
Well, there is history here. There is a precedent set. Miami basically did it, and it worked out pretty well for them a couple of years ago. That's when the whole more guards than the county jail thing started, because they were just putting them around Omier, right? So I do have a hard time believing that Coach Drew is going to play super small. You talked about, like, one strategy might leave out the best 5 overall players from the starting lineup. On paper, it's clearly Roach, Nunn, Edgecombe, Love, and Omier, right? The problem is the size there. You get the other 4 guys outside of Omier. Those are all guards, right?
Yeah, they're all like 6'4", 6.
Yeah, and Celestine presents, like, this. It's an interesting option. I mean, the size, the ability to stretch the floor a little bit. I think realistically, though, Coach Drew wants to get more size and rebounding in there. So, yeah, it's Ojibuna for me. Ojibuna. I think he locks him in. Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's not a bad thing to have, one of these guards coming off the bench, right? Foul trouble, just need a different look, obviously depth purposes and things like that. Nunn, a 3-and-D guy, was a starter last year. I like him if it comes down to Nunn, basically versus Love here, Langston Love, then I do like Nunn to start here. Even though Love probably presents a little more size. I mean, all these guys shooting 40+% from 3. So I think Edgecombe has to start just based on what we've seen. I'm going to go here, Jay, and let me know if you're in lockstep. Roach, Edgecombe, Nunn, Omier, and I'm with you here, Ojibuna, to kind of round out this 5, and then having Love just come off of that bench. He was really great in that role last year.
I don't think he's above that. I don't think he's above it. He's done it. I don't think he's too – I think he understands – he will understand that him coming off the pine is going to be the best thing for this team. And he can have just as much of an impact being that first guy off the bench as he can in the starting lineup. And I think that's what will happen.
Absolutely. Baylor Bears coming in with our projected starting 5 here. And Kevin Lucas came back to us with an answer. We asked, he answered, love it. He says, Ryland gives you the major defensive prowess and 3-point shooting. KJ is just a dog. Wasn't great for spacing purposes with Hunter, but if anybody can solve that issue, it's Bill Self.
I think the way he solves it is by putting KJ on the bench. I don't know. Maybe he's worked on it, and maybe he can show something. That's a huge jump for KJ to stretch the floor. Like, I don't know, Jay, you got to take on this. I mean,
I think they'll have to do it at times for one reason or another, and we'll get to see it, and Coach Self will know right away. Like, let's not pretend like, Coach, Coach Self, we're back on Kansas, right? I think Coach Self will figure this out right away. He's so in tune, like he said, like, he knew in January last year that their season was done, right? And there were a lot of things going on down there.
Was he watching Alabama?
Around there, right, exactly. So, but yeah, no, I think that either Kevin, I don't think that that's a wrong answer. I don't think that that's, it is absolutely possible. And yeah, I get about KJ. Like, I could see why, if you're a fan of that team, why you would want him in the starting lineup. I get it.
It's not the worst thing, because Dickinson can shoot the 3. So it's not like you don't have 2 bigs that can't shoot. It's just more the fact that we've kind of seen that, right? And I don't know, just the way the game was played. Like, look at the Final Four teams. Like, it was just, up and down, guys shooting threes. Like, it's it's really hard in today's game to not have spacing. I mean, we're seeing it in the Olympics right now too, right? So, appreciate that, Kevin, man. We'd love to see you. Obviously, Chris got a few more wacky comments in here.
Kevin, while you're in here, let us know, are you a Kansas fan? Is that your team? Let us know who your team is. We have Out of Rhythm coming in. Baylor, even a team?
I mean, they won a national title 3 years ago.
He's not even a fan of Baylor. And you know what, guys? It looks like we have another bot coming in. Wait. It's Peanut Butter Posse coming in.
No, it's not a bot.
Oh, man. Peanut Butter always coming in with some funny stuff here. I mean, I don't even know how to read that. It's all kind of jarbled up. I don't know. He's just a great American sports fan.
I don't know why I read it in like a Borat accent in my head. You know, like, how are you, Baylor? Good American basketball player. That's how I read it in my head. Oh, Kevin said he's Michigan
Alabama.
State. He said he's like Kevin Sparty.
Yeah, go check out.
There you go.
Kevin, did you get a chance to check out our Big Ten? We did. We spotlighted Michigan State, man. So, let us know your comments on who you think is going to be starting for Michigan State and what their ceiling is, man. We'd love to see that. I know we're closing up shop here in a minute, but even if it's in the comments, man, I appreciate the love, man. We're growing and we love to see it, man. So we're out here bringing all this content.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Appreciate it. Eric coming in, pushing the buttons. Make sure you follow him on X at Fantasy Nav. Not just a team, a squad.
Hundo for Fundo.
Talking about Baylor. Good stuff. Now, before we get out of here, guys, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked you guys last time. Of these three teams, if these coaches are listening to us right now and they're going with, you know what, Mike's right, Jay's right, I'm going with these starters, plug it in, put it in cement, we're done. Who has the more successful season? And don't say Arizona.
Jay, do you want this one?
I went first last time, Mike. You go first this time.
All right. I'm gonna say Arizona because I have the edgier take.
Okay. All right. I'm going first. I'm gonna say Arizona. No.
I have the edgier take because I don't think people realize how good Anthony Del Orso is. I do realize how good KJ Lewis is. I just feel like that type of firepower coming off the bench with KJ, with Del Orso, his size, his ability to just make it rain from all over. Those two position battles are going to be fun, Jay. Like Awaka and Krivas. Awaka, big, strong guy, right? That's kind of something that they've had in there in the middle with Bala there the last couple of years. Obviously not the offensive player, but very strong defensively. So I'm waiting to see what this Arizona team is going to look like. I think they have a chance to be really good, actually. I think Jaden Bradley slept on. So, man, I guess I'll go with Arizona as far as ceiling. So I'm going to leave you with my Baylor Bears as well as the Kansas Jayhawks.
You don't even need to say Kansas. You knew I was going with your Baylor Bears here. I just think that Ojewuna, I think that like inserting him into having him in this lineup, the 6'10" junior, didn't get all of those minutes last season, but I think he's going to be such an impactful player in the Big 12 where, it's tough night in and night out. You got to have guys that can bang around down low. Will Celestine figure that out? Like, I don't know. Will he get? Well, that he's transferring in from Cal, but I don't know. I'm gonna go Baylor. Mike's Baylor Bears there for sure. He is a very good coach, man. Okay. So you had me there. I thought you actually were typing complete sentences for a second, but you didn't. I should have known better. It's just like, hey, where's our guy Mo?
Yeah, where is Mo?
Lester Jr. Where is he? I haven't seen him in a while. Mo, if you're out there, come back in the live chat. Say hey.
Kevin's back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of the live chat, he's got him before with us.
He's got a hot take.
Yeah, Fears, Atkins, Fiddler, Booker's, Zapala. Yeah. Agree with you all.
Yeah, he's thinking Fears. Zapala's been really good at practice. Hey, we love that inside information, man. It's always
love it.
It's always tough to get information in this sport, man. It's kind of crazy, but we'll see Zapala. I don't know, man. I just feel like Carson Cooper, man. Like, people are sleeping on his two-way upside. Like, he was a best player, DPBR from Evan Mia, the best defensive player returning in that conference. Like, of all players, transfers, like, it does not matter. So we'll see, man. We appreciate the love there.
Thanks.
Absolutely appreciate the love. I mean, who knows? He said he's been looking at us for a while. So I was going to say maybe he was our 1,117th follower that just subscribed. But sounds like he's been with us for a minute. So definitely appreciate you checking out our work. Make sure you are out there. If you're watching us after the fact here, make sure you're out there subscribing, hitting that notification bell, hitting that like button, so you know all the stuff that's coming in the near future. I mean, we're not slowing down. We are ramping up. We're only 88 days away from opening tip-off. And our next show is what? SEC. We got some big names coming in the SEC.
SEC.
Oh, Peanut Butter is going to be real happy with the next show.
Yeah, Mike. SEC. We're there, baby. We're there, brother.
I'll never do it.
We are there. Oh, you will.
So SEC is next on the Position Battle Series. Make sure you like and subscribe so you know when that's coming. Conference previews are coming up very, very soon. We are working on those as we speak. Well, kind of not as we speak, but you know what we mean. We're working on those diligently. But until next time, guys, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's get that bread.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drrodo.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.